Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Aldridge, an associate professor in the School of Nursing here at the University of Northern Colorado. We know from working with graduate students over time that there are lots of common challenges that students in all disciplines face. One of the first things is organizing information. So you're going to be reading lots of different types of articles and textbooks, and you recall that you need that information later in your studies. So when you get a year or two out, you might say, oh, I remember reading an article about this. What did that article say and where was it? This is a very common challenge. In addition, you don't want to have to reread these long, complicated articles over and over again as the years go by. So another challenge is how to summarize information to prevent that from happening. And then the third big challenge is having some sort of way to organize the information and file the article so that you can locate that perfect article later on. So some strategies that we know help. First, summarizing ideas and putting them in your own words is a really helpful strategy rather than just passively reading, maybe highlighting, and hoping you'll remember that later. So summarizing is important. Active reading is very important. Taking the words on the page and rephrasing them and putting them in your own words as you read. And then, as I said before, having a consistent way of organizing your materials so that you can find them later. So one thing that I've used with my students that I'm making available to everyone is a template that will help you do this. There are detailed instructions on how to use this template in the module. But basically what it does is it helps you summarize the key points of research articles, which we all know can be very complicated and complex. It doesn't matter the methodology of the article. It could be a quantitative methodology, a mixed methods, or a qualitative. And the material you fill in on the template will help you remember and find the information later. We've also suggested ways on how you can name the files of these documents so that you can find them later. And if you're not a digital person and you like to work off of paper and print things out, this can work for you too, because once you fill out the template, you can just print it out and attach it to the paper copy of the article. So although this may seem like a time-consuming process at first, you'll get faster at it, and I promise that the time you spend summarizing these articles now, you will get paid back with later, because you're going to be using these same articles many times in your program, and this will prevent you from having to reread them and make it a lot easier to locate. I hope this works for you. Good luck in your studies.